everyone, and welcome to Get Your Geek On's Best of 2022. We are talking about our favorite projects of the year. And first off, Happy New Year. You might hear some fireworks going off in the background. New Year. We're literally shooting this on midnight in the new year. So, Happy New Year. And as we are talking about our favorite things of 2022, we thought the best way we could start it off was something that maybe a lot of people don't really know that well. If you have Amazon Prime, we definitely recommend you check out The Legend of Vox Machina. Oh my goodness, this show was amazing. We're going to talk about why we loved it and also who we think it's for. I'm going to throw it to you, Frank, first. What do you love about Vox Machina?
I just love the rawness of it. Like, I just like that it's like grungy, gritty, like sexual content. It's all there. You know, it's like the characters are so freaking awesome. It's just a great story all through. And if you're a big fan of Critical Role, then definitely check this out. I personally have not watched too many Critical Roles, just from what my son has like thrown at me here and there. But the voice acting is amazing. There's a lot of great characters that appear on it. But yeah, definitely check it out. One of the tops.
All right. Aaron, what do you love about The Legend of Vox Machina?
Honestly, so the way this show worked out for me to watch was you watch it first, actually, even though I play D&D.
Sort of. I sort of watched it first. I started it first.
Robert started it first. I love D&D. I love role-playing. I like to do all that kind of stuff. But I stayed away from it because, again, it is a little exclusive, I will say, with Amazon Prime.
This is true.
So that is one drawback. But if you have it, like you said, it is worth the watch. Because when you told me, hey, what did you say, 5 minutes into the episode?
5 minutes into the first episode, and I texted him. I said, you're going to love this.
And I called bullshit on that, but definitely 5 minutes into the episode, I was like, okay,
it was so good. It was so good.
And you know what got me? The whole, like, in the inn thing where, like, the bard was like, what are you doing with my daughter? He's just like, I'll tell you in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, that's what got me.
Yeah, it's great.
And what got me into this, I watched Critical Role on and off. I'm not like a diehard fan. I've seen every episode. I follow them to an extent. But for me, to be honest, Critical Role is a little too long because they do 3-hour marathons almost each time. This show is about, say 30 minutes an episode.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's, for me, a better bite. I mean, I do a lot of work. You know, I edit these videos. I'm a filmmaker. I do my normal job, etc. So 30-minute intervals are a lot easier for me to digest versus, okay, I'm going to sit here and listen to the 3 hours of Matt Mercer and the rest of the gang. But I think what got me into it was the fact that they were involved in this. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, oh, we sold the rights to Amazon Prime to do. No, Matt Mercer's in it. Who did we say? David Tennant's in it. The whole cast of Critical Role is in it.
Yeah, there's a huge bunch of celebrity guests that are in this. And honestly, I mean, part of, you know, you guys mentioned a lot of things that I love, but I am, you know, I like D&D, but I haven't really been into it very much. I haven't played a lot of tabletop games. And, you know, starting this show, it was kind of like I came to it late too, and I came to it because it had such high reviews. And I was like, well, let me try it out. I want to watch it. And when I texted you, I mean, it was because I knew not only would you like it, but I was also 5 minutes into loving a show. I was like, this show is amazing. Like, it hooked me. And the true test that I knew it was great is, you know, my wife was about to fall asleep. She's like, put on whatever you want, right? And so I'm just like, all right, I want to start this show. And I'm like, you know, and she got hooked. We finished the first episode, and I'm like a night owl, so I was ready to keep going. And she's like, all right, I'm going to bed. We're watching this together. You can't. And I was like, darn,
that's where I want to point out.
So good.
Like we said, he started it. I finished it first.
Yeah, he got through it faster.
I don't have a wife to worry about. No offense. I was able to finish it in 2 days. This is how the show was. It's binge worthy.
Oh, yeah.
I literally finished it in 1 day.
Yeah.
And you know what the great thing about this show is that even if you're not a fan of Critical Role, it's a standalone show.
Oh, 100%.
Because you don't have to come in knowing the characters. Because the character development is there. Like, you start off like in a bar and it's like Like
you're
literally, who the F is Vox Machina?
Right, you're meeting this group of characters who clearly have different backgrounds. They have different, characteristics. It's like a D&D party. I mean, you've got your bard, you've got your, rogue, you've got your healer, you've got your, muscle.
fighter,
You've got all of those things.
Everybody.
And honestly, what really made this show for me was the relationships between the different characters. Like, I love the relationship between Grog and Pike.
Yes. That was my favorite.
The
It's
healer,
like it's their best
healer
friend.
and the fighter, and just the way that they, their relationship throughout the series, it was just so, it was so relatable. It was so refreshing. All of the different characters, again, it was just like, I could connect to all of them. I loved, the way that they got along, their friendships.
Yep.
And also the way they had each other's backs and all that stuff. And the show, again, it's animated. It's a breeze to watch. It's easy to get through. And it's so much fun. I had a blast with the show. And even though, I mentioned I got to watch this with my wife, which is not a bad thing. I love watching things with her.
Right.
But we got through it in about a week, which is a record for us of getting through something that quickly.
They got 2 kids.
But it was boom, boom, boom. Like every night we were like, we need to watch at least one episode. It's so good.
Right. Well, you all got 2 kids. You got your normal jobs. You guys, your schedules are sometimes backwards. And that's what I'm pointing this all out. Not trying to bash you.
No.
I want to say this. You have different opinions from the show. You have someone who has never watched Critical Role, a casual viewer, and I would say a little bit more than casual, but not a hardcore viewer. And all 3 of us love this show.
Awesome.
And we could probably sit here and talk about this all day. We are trying to make these short, but the fact is, this was a solid show. Frank says it the best. In the first episode, you have a song about who is Vox Machina. By the end of that episode, you know who Vox Machina is. It doesn't need to be this 6-episode draw out of maybe some dead space, some filler episodes essentially.
Oh, there's no filler in this show.
Yeah,
I just love the fact they think themselves as this big we're like this giant group, and then everybody's like, who the hell's Vox Machina?
Who? Exactly.
And it's like, and they're like, do you have any gold? He's like, damn it.
And that's the thing.
They're always broke.
They're always broke, and they are. You get the sense and you get the feel that they are an adventuring party before then. But again, we all love the show. I think we're all great fans of it. I binged it. I think in about 2 days. When I texted you and said, "Hey, did you finish it?" And you were like, "I'm still waiting.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it." Yeah. But here's the thing, but as we get ready to wrap up this particular episode, as we talk about our favorite things of 2022, we kickstart that series. This show, again, it was a lot of fun. I think really part of the thing we want to highlight in this series is okay, who is this for? Is this for your typical geek? Do you have to be into fantasy stuff? Do you have to like animation? Whatever. No. Honestly, I think this show, it does have a little bit of rated R content. So it's got, language and some sexual situations and things like that. But I think, honestly, beyond that, I would recommend this to just about anyone. It's just fun. It's got humor. It's got emotional stakes. It's got, good action. It's got all those things. It's just a fun show.
It is.
I think I agree with you guys. I want to say to an extent I agree with you guys. And again, maybe being a little bit more of the Critical Role watcher than both of you. I would say there's, to an extent, the voice actors and seeing them and watching them on Critical Role, knowing a little of the backstory of who Vox Machina really is. I think that does add to it. But at the end of the day, the fact that Robert, who's never... because again, Robert,
I never even heard of Critical Role.
You've never heard of it. And the fact that you enjoyed it enough to say, like you said, in 5 minutes, Aaron, you're going to love this show. Mm-hmm. Knowing my personality, what we've talked about on videos... I think this shows that this show is available for everybody and is for everyone. And I don't care if you're not a big fan of animation, I think you can still enjoy the story of this. Me and Frank were talking about this off camera. What are some of our favorite episodes were? And I think that it resonates with everybody. There's some of the stuff that you almost have a character you can connect with. Yes. Everybody is unique enough that you have that I can connect with this character, or I can connect with that one. Mm-hmm. I think all 3 of us here may have a character we interact with.
I like Percy. I mean,
Oh,
I just like
Percy's
the
great.
whole
Percy's a good
vengeance
character.
thing, and
Yeah.
it's like you know what you find out later why he's so angry all the time.
We got the bard over
like-
here.
I won't lie, I beat the bar.
We got the bard over here. And,
But I think my biggest thing was like listening to the voices, because when my son told me about Critical Role,
Right.
he was like, a lot of them are voice actors, Dad, and I was like, what do you mean by? He's
Exactly.
like, so this guy used to voice Thor in all the animated series, and this is like the original Donatello from the animated series, and I was like,
Yeah.
and you start listening to it, I was like, damn, they really do sound like, yeah, that it really is them.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
But
that was one of my
anyways, this, again, we loved this show. We want to know what you think. Have you seen it? Have you heard of it? Drop it down in the comments. Let us know. Are you planning on watching it based on what we tell you? We're definitely telling you to watch the show. It is so much fun. It is so good. Aaron, take us home.
So on that note, guys, don't forget to check us out at official GYGO on TikTok, on Facebook, on
Twitter.
Instagram, Twitter,
Everything
everywhere you go. TikTok, there's some
Do it.
videos we have up there already. And of course, I'm Aaron. This is Robert. That's Frank, who was our cameraman before and
I was
is
always
now
behind the scenes.
in the episode
On camera.
Living
On
color.
camera. Check everything out. Stay geeky and get your geek on, guys.
Bye.